On the phone with us right now, Dr. Linton Hopkins, author of the book Eastlake, where Bobby learned to play. Dr. Hopkins, thank you so much for joining the Shelley Winter Show this morning.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
So the book is available. You could get it still. Eastlake, where Bobby learned to play. Please get this book. First question I have, did Bobby Jones build Augusta National for it to eventually become the Masters? Was that the plan, or was it just to be another golf course, another private course?
Bobby Jones didn't do anything that wasn't thought out, but I've never read anybody state that he was thinking about this tournament or even a tournament when he did it. It reminds me of Tom Cousins. He bought East Lake and had to fix it up. And Bobby saw this land and had to make a golf course. And then they both took it piece by piece and made moves based on what they saw. When it was all done, in my mind, Bobby Jones looked at it and thought about inviting people to come play. And they liked it so much that the tournament just grew out of it. All of his friends, he was so prominent, people just wanted to be there to play with him.
Gotcha. Now, when it did become the Masters, how did the Masters transform itself into the premier golf tournament, in the world, essentially?
Well, my private theory is that it kept happening at the same place year after year, and those people who were invited to one, especially those who won,
right,
came back and brought their friends, and it just evolved. It's the beauty of the place. And as you see it now, it's like nothing else, the way it's evolved and the excitement involved with it. So it was there, of course, much, much later than the U.S. Open, but has become as prominent, and because of the same setting, much more familiar.
Do you think the marketing because it's been marketed almost as an exclusive event, not only with from the standpoint even the Masters tells the television carrier just how many advertisements they can run, and they limit the number of ads, thus making it an exclusive marketing opportunity for businesses, and the ticket prices and the way it's talked about on air so reverently. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that. Do you think that also adds to the mystique, if you will?
I'm sure it does. People I talk to who've never been there, when they walk in there, they're just struck by the beauty, which is much greater than on television. But it's designed to include amateurs always from the beginning. Mm-hmm. And they have strict rules about how you can get in there. And Bobby Jones was insistent that they honor the rules and let anybody in who won a tournament. So it's been a very progressive place, very open to guests. Of course, they don't have public access to play, but it's that adds to the mystery,
right? So that being said, you talked about inclusive and so forth. This year, for the first time, the amateur women were allowed to play. Do you think very shortly there's going to be a professional women's Masters played at Augusta?
Well, I'd hope so, but the chairman said no in his interview, and so I doubt it. I think it's going to stick with the amateurs. The amateur women and men need more attention. There are college kids of today, and they're going to grow up and be the heroes of tomorrow. So the public needs to get used to them. So I'm all for what Augusta National has done and what East Lake has done with the East Lake Cup.
Right. So you're seeing it. So you're looking at it for the future of golf, the growth of golf, allowing women amateurs to play Augusta, not professional, grows the sport. That's your contention?
Well, my secret desire is that if you can get the women to play golf and to be prominent in golf, then wives and husbands and children will play together.
Right.
That's what Alexa Sterling and Bobby Jones and the others in the book did. They saw their parents. They played with their parents. They saw their parents groan and moan and laugh at each other. and they caught it early. That's the beauty of the game, and we need to do everything we can to get families out there.
What do you think when Tiger Woods first exploded on the scene? There was an explosion of interest in the game of golf. We look at the ratings when Tiger's playing in a tournament. The ratings all goes up. You know, famously called the Tiger effect. Who do you think is that person now that can see can come along? Is it the Spieth or McIlroy? All these young guys can help grow the game with a new generation.
Well, that's a great mystery right now. Tiger is one of very few, 3 or 4 in history that could do that, maybe only 2. Bobby Jones had that same electric effect on the golf course. Everybody wanted to know, where is Bobby? What's he doing? So he had crowd around him at St. Andrews in 1927.
Oh, hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I said Bobby had a crowd around him at St. Andrews in 1927 that was at least as big as the one at East Lake in September. People just lost all control to watch and be around him. So he had a magical effect on people as an individual and a group of people. And Tiger has that. We call it charisma, of course.
Right. So and so the big question is, who's that next golfer to bring attention and grow the game? How important we have here the First Tee program that's run down a couple courses, but the one I'm familiar with is right down off of Cascade Road. How important are First Tee programs and golf programs for our children? And I'm asking this question for our parents out there who have young kids, who the importance of getting a young child interested in golf.
It's very important. You can read about it in Charlie Harrison's chapter. He was there teaching children who'd never heard about golf to be still, not talk, be respectful, and it just teaches people behavior in the best possible way. The child gets a sense of, if I behave myself, maybe I can master or at least get where it's fun to be out there. Whereas if they're running all over the place and have no sense of accomplishment, then they won't come back as regularly as if they played the actual game.
Wow. So I've never, and that chapter is in your book, East Lake, Where Bobby Learned to Play. I'm on the phone with Dr. Linton Hopkins, author of the book, East Lake, Where Bobby Learned to Play. So as we wind down, Dr. Hopkins, I got to ask you this question. What's your prediction for this weekend's Masters?
Well, I hope that Ricky Fowler will win, and that somebody else, if not someone else who's never won it. I can't possibly say what will happen.
Right.
So I'm just got to have hopes. And,
now, why Ricky Fowler?
Ricky is just an appealing golfer to me. He's very poised and he's restrained and poised when he speaks, like Bobby Jones.
Gotcha.
He loves the game. He's just a great role model, I think.
Gotcha. And so if it's not him, you want someone that's never won before, like Patrick Reed did last year.
Yeah, I think that keeps the game energized to see a new star, because every new person that wins, you're more interested in how he does the next time.
That's true. That's true. Awesome. Great time. Thank you so much, Dr. Linton Hopkins. He's the author of East Lake, Where Bobby Learned to Play. God bless you, sir, and keep up the great work. And thank you so very much for sharing your time with us.
Thank you, Shelby, very much.
Bye-bye.